Hello everybody, this is Tommy here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today right now we are doing Phase 4 of TMCU, which obviously stands for Tommy's Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well anyway guys, let's get started with the video and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so the first project in Phase 4 is titled WandaVision. Now this of course is the first show of TMCU and there will be a few more shows in TMCU going forward. Alright, now here is the official poster for WandaVision, so yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys can see Tyler Hayward back there, but he is there, trust me. Now, the first episode is titled Filmed Before a Live Studio Audience, and we follow Wanda as she rewrites reality in the town of Westview by using her powers to resurrect Vision, as she also encounters Agatha Harkness, aka Agnes, and Monica Rambeau, aka Geraldine. Now, episode 2 is titled Don't Touch That Dial. I meant to say talent show, but in this episode, Wanda and Hex Vision perform at a talent show. Episode 3 is titled Now in Color, and we follow Wanda and Hex Vision as Wanda gives birth to their twins, Billy and Tommy. This is the main plot of this episode. Now, episode 4 is titled We Interrupt This Program, and we follow Geraldine, who is revealed to be Monica Rambeau. She's an agent of SWORD, a government agency, and the space version of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was founded by Maria Rambeau, her mother, in 1995 in order to defend Earth from cosmic threats. Now, episode 5 is titled On a Very Special Episode, and we follow Tyler Hayward as he and SWORD plan to invade Westview with help from Jimmy Woo, Darcy Lewis, Eric Selvig, and Monica Rambeau, who gets her powers through the Hex, and lastly, Ralph Bohner, aka Pietro, arrives. Now, Ralph Bohner is impersonating Wanda's brother, by the way. Now, episode 6 is titled An All-New Spooktacular, and it is now Halloween, and Ralph continues to manipulate Wanda and her family. Now, Agnes, starts to reveal her true colors as we learn that she's a witch from the 17th century who came to Westview to steal Wanda's powers, and lastly, Ralph Bohner escapes after the real Pietro, who is Quicksilver, arrives in Westview to visit Wanda. Now, in this episode, Tony Stark appears as a special guest star and wants to help Wanda move on with her grief by recreating Vision, but instead, he is an evil version known as White Vision, and Monica then invades Westview, which causes Jimmy, Darcy, Eric, and Maria Rambeau, to betray Hayward. Now, in this episode, Agatha reveals the entire truth to Wanda and mentions the supernatural beings Mephisto and Chthon, although they don't appear, and also we learn that Tyler Hayward recovered the real Vision's body from Wakanda to rebuild it and use it as a weapon, although Wanda destroys the body out of a fit of rage. So the final episode is titled The Series Finale, and in this episode, we see Wanda as she teams up with Hex Vision, Billy, and Tommy, along with their allies Jimmy Woo, Darcy Lewis, Eric Selvig, Quicksilver, Monica, and Maria Rambeau during the final battle as they take down Agatha, White Vision, and Tyler Hayward and his military unit, his allies or team, of course. Now, by the end of the episode, Wanda frees Westview from her control before fleeing to her home country, Sokovia, which of course has now been rebuilt by Quicksilver in Avengers Endgame, as I mentioned in my other video. However, though, she reconciles with Monica and everyone else, while White Vision is reprogrammed by Tony Stark, which turns him into a good guy, and Tyler Hayward goes to jail. Monica, Nick Fury Jr., Maria Hill, and a few S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are approached by a group of Skrulls, whatever they are, while Agatha kidnaps Billy and Tommy after finding the Darkhold in Sokovia. Because remember, guys, in Avengers Masters of Evil, after Baron von Strucker died, well, that was in Camera with the Winter Soldier, but the Darkhold was left in Sokovia in Avengers Masters of Evil, and I guess Agatha's now found it, and yes, she does kidnap Billy and Tommy, by the way. So Elizabeth Olsen, Evan Peters, and Paul Bettany all return their respective roles as Wanda, Pietro, and Vision. Teyana Parris plays Agent Monica Rambeau, Lashana Lynch plays her mother, Director Maria Rambeau, Randall Park, Kat Dennings, and Stellan Skarsgård all return their respective roles, while Julian Hillard and Jack Klein play twins Billy and Tommy, also known as Wicked and Speed. Many actors play multiple different Westview residents, while Nick Fury Jr., Maria Hill, and Tony Stark all return, played by the same actors. Kathryn Hahn plays Agatha Harkness, Paul Bettany plays White Vision, Josh Stolberg plays co-director Tyler Hayward, Evan Peters plays Ralph Bohner, Kate Forbes plays Agatha's mother Evanora Harkness, and many actors play a group of coven, which is led by Agatha and her mother. Now, in the mid-credit scene, Wanda is now living in Sokovia after leaving Westview, and she's approached by Doctor Strange, who tells her that there's a new supernatural threat that he needs her help to deal with. Now in the post-credits scene, Quicksilver is now at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, as Professor X tells him that Eric Lehnsherr, aka Magneto, is his dad, and Natalia Maximoff is his mother. These of course are all Wanda's parents, so Wanda and Quicksilver are basically biological siblings. So Agatha's mother, the group of Coven witches, Hex Vision, and multiple different Westview residents all die in this TV show, my bad. So Chapter 2 of Phase 4 is titled Captain America the Serpent Society. So following the events of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers has passed away from old age, which leaves the Captain America mantle uncertain. Now the Avengers have also gone their own ways, as the movie mainly follows on Sam struggling to live up to Steve after Bucky goes to Wakanda, which of course he doesn't really appear in this film. Now Sam also encounters other heroes such as John Walker, aka the US agent, and has his own sidekick in Joaquin Torres, aka the New Falcon, who's an old friend of his from the US military. Now there's also a new power vacuum, as Thaddeus Ross is now president and has hired Zemo and the Serpent Society to kill John Walker, Battlestar, and Isaiah Bradley in order to steal the super soldier serum from them. The Serpent Society, which consists of King Cobra, Diamondback, Sidewinder, Viper, Princess Python, and Black Mamba, are the final remnants of Hydra after all the world governments and leaders arrested or executed them, although Hydra is still a major threat, like a major overarching threat unseen throughout this entire film. Well, most of it. It ends with Zemo double-crossing the main group and orders the death of Isaiah Bradley, whose origin stays the same as in the original MCU show Falcon and Winter Soldier, and also Ross stays as the Red Hulk, although he does not get the serum, and also Zemo orders the death of Battlestar as well. Now by the end of the film, Sam and Joaquin accept their identities as Captain America and Falcon, while John Walker begins dating Sharon Carter, and they all part ways with Layla Tyler, who is Sam's girlfriend, who becomes a reporter and remains close with Sam and everyone else. Alright, so Anthony Mackie plays Sam Wilson, Danny Ramirez plays Joaquin Torres, Wyatt Russell plays John Walker, Osha Roquemore plays Sam's girlfriend Layla Tyler, Carl Lumbly plays former super soldier Isaiah Bradley, Elijah Richardson plays Eli Bradley, Shira Haas plays Sabra, Clay Bennett plays Battlestar, Martin Freeman, Don Cheadle, Gwyneth Paltrow, Michelle Pfeiffer, Emily Van Camp, and Liv Tyler all return their respective roles, while Samuel L. Jackson and Colby Smulders play Soren. Now for the main antagonist section, William Hurt plays President Thaddeus Ross, Daniel Brawl plays Zemo, and for the Serpent Society lineup, we got Seth Rollins, Rosa Salazar, Madeline Pesh, Aaron Eckhart, Nina Dobrev, and Anna de Armas all play King Cobra, Diamondback, Princess Python, Sidewinder, Viper, and Black Mamba. Now in the mid-credit scene, it is revealed that the Skrulls, Talos, and Soren have been posing as Nick Fury Jr., Maria Hill, and are doing work for them on Earth, while the real Fury and Maria Hill are currently on the Sword space station with Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel. Now in the post-credit scene, Sabra is kidnapped by the US government and experimented on for a mysterious project known as Weapon X, which is a mission to collect the mysterious substance known as adamantium. Now in the third credit scene, Everett Ross is in Wakanda with Shuri as they surprise Bucky with a new suit, which is the White Wolf suit, while Ross gets a phone call of the formation of a new team known as the Thunderbolts. Now Steve Rogers, Battlestar, Isaiah Bradley, Sidewinder, Viper, and Black Mamba all die in this film. So Phase 4 Chapter 3 is titled The Thunderbolts. So in the film, Thaddeus Ross has failed at his attempt to get the super soldier serum to enhance himself and assembles a new superhero team known as the Thunderbolts to replace the Avengers while on a quest for adamantium from the Indian Ocean for Weapon X, which is a project that can enhance superhuman skills and abilities and also change their genes, but things go wrong when scientist Robert Reynolds is exposed to this and becomes the evil Sentry as he goes after the Thunderbolts, forcing Thaddeus to betray the team as he hires the leader and gets him out of prison to end the conflict by killing both the Sentry and the Thunderbolts. Movie ends with Ross turning into the Red Hulk and fighting Sentry and the Thunderbolts while the leader surrenders himself and Ross is no longer the Red Hulk, although Sabra is freed from Weapon X. Sentry becomes good and Betty becomes Red She-Hulk again as the two join the Thunderbolts team who continue their quest for adamantium, and lastly John forgives Sentry for accidentally killing Sharon, who is now his girlfriend, obviously. Alright, so for the cast, we got Sebastian Stan, Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Tim Roth, Scott Adkins, Wright Russell, all return their respective roles, while John Bernthal plays the Punisher. Liv Tyler, Emily Van Camp, Martin Freeman, and Shira Haas all return their respective roles as well. William Hurt plays Thaddeus Ross, Tim Blake Nelson plays the leader, Daniel Broad plays Baron Zemo, and Anthony Starr plays the Sentry. Now, in the mid-credits scene, the leader is seen working on another project of his, which is unrelated to Weapon X. Now, in the post-credits scene, the CIA attack Wakanda and are revealed to be working with the Thunderbolts. So Sharon Carter is the only character that dies in this film. Okay, now the fourth project in Phase 4 is titled Chapter 4, Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. Now, the movie mainly follows in the ancient past around 1,500 years ago, where a Chinese man who worships the ancient gods, who were the Xian of Ta Lo named Zhu Wenwu, discovered 10 mystical rings, which granted him gifts such as immortality and sorcery, as he used it to form an empire known as the Ten Rings terrorist organization. But however, instead of using them for good, he took down governments and empires such as the Seljuk, Mongol, and Ottomans, in many attempts to conquer the world, as he was only able to take over Asia. The events in the past mainly stay the same, although the Iron Gang want to steal weapons from the Ten Rings for their own gain, and Shang-Chi left in 2012 after killing the Iron Gang and its leader as revenge for the death of his mother. Now, in the present day, Shang-Chi is trying to cope with his new life after learning about his father's death, but he must save the Ten Rings terrorist organization due to the power vacuum, leading him and his best friend, named Katie, on a journey to the ancient and religious dimension of Ta Lo. Everything else mainly stays the same, although Shang-Chi's half-brother, Su Zhang, aka the Moving Shadow, is the main villain. He blamed Shang-Chi for not being able to save his father after he was killed by Iron Man in the Invincible Iron Man 3. Now, there are no prisoners as well, unlike in the original MCU film, although Zhu Xialing, whatever her name is the only way to Ta Lo, and Shang-Chi hates Iron Man for killing his father, although Katie loves him. Now, once we get to Ta Lo, we immediately learn of its ancient history, as this is once the home of the ancient gods, who Zhang worships, and the people of Ta Lo created the Dweller in Darkness and the Soul Eaters to protect Ta Lo, although they chose to be evil, so the people and the gods imprisoned them with the help of the Great Protector, who is a new creation similar to Vision, who replaced the Dweller in Darkness and the Soul Eaters. Now, Zhang wants to go to Ta Lo due to being manipulated by the Dweller in Darkness into resurrecting his parents, and the brothers fight, although Shang-Chi accidentally kills his brother and cries while having to resist the Dweller's temptations, although he kills it, and Zhu Xialing decides to take over the Ten Rings organization and is now independent due to her allowing the Chinese people to no longer be under control, while Shang-Chi keeps the rings for himself, as the rest of the film stays the same. Now, for the cast, we got Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, Awkwafina as Katie Chen, Menger Zhang as Su Xiling, Michelle Yeoh as Ying Nan, Violet Chen as Ying Li, Yuan Wan as Guangbo, Benedict Wong and Tim Roth both return their respective roles as Wong in The Abomination, while the Great Protector and Moors also appear in this film, played by unknown actors. Ronnie Chiang plays John, Zach Cherry plays Clev, Stephanie Su plays Sue, Kunal Dudheker plays John, Sai Chen plays Wapo Chen, Jodie Long plays Miss Chen, Dallas Liu plays Ruhua Chen, and for the villains, Henry Golden plays the Moving Shadow, Florian Montagu plays Razorfist, Paul He plays Ten Rings Chancellor Huai, Fernando Chien plays Gao Lei, who is a member of the Ten Rings, and the Dweller in Darkness, the Soul Eaters, and Iron Gang also appear in this film as well. Now, in the mid-credit scene, after returning home, Shang-Chi is recruited by Skrull Rhodey to join the Avengers. Now, in the post-credit scene, it is revealed that Wong is working with the Thunderbolts, and as he and the Abomination are about to talk to Thaddeus Ross about their concerns about Shang-Chi, they find him dead on the floor with his head bashed with blood. The Moving Shadow, the Xian gods of Ta Lo, Ying Li, Guangbo, Gao Lei, the Iron Gang, Huai, the Dweller in Darkness, and the Soul Eaters all die in this film. Now, the fifth project in Phase 4, as we are now halfway through, is titled Captain Marvel. Now, most of the movie stays the same, and it is still set in 1995, although we start off with learning the Kree origins. They are a militaristic society and empire of 20 billion population who control 25% of the main galaxy, and are run by the evil AI known as the Supreme Intelligence. While in the 10th century, the Kree will expand their power and territory as they have just begun their war with the Nova Empire of Xandar and encountered the Skrulls on the planet Skrullos, a secret society of 21 billion population who are hidden from the rest of the main galaxy. However, the Kree somehow learn about their existence and try to control them and their planet, but they refuse, so the Kree destroy their home planet, their empire, and forcefully scatter them across the universe before kidnapping Air Force pilot Carol Danvers after she encountered Dr. Wendy Lawson, a Kree named Marvel who worked with the Skrulls to find them a new home until being killed by Star Force member Yon-Rogg. Now, Ronan does not return, although he is mentioned in the film. Now, cut into 1995, this part mainly stays the same, although the Inhumans appear and reveal themselves as S.H.I.E.L.D. in order to help Carol defeat the Kree and save the Skrulls. The Supreme Intelligence also shows its true form, and we are introduced to Robin, a Kree who learned the truth about the Skrulls, and this led her to join Carol and her team until she sacrificed herself to save the Inhumans. Now, Yon-Rogg dies, and all the remaining Skrulls on Earth leave to find a new home with help from Carol and Nick Fury, and also Carol frees all the dependent civilizations from Kree control. So Brie Larson plays Carol Danvers, Samuel L. Jackson and Lashana Lynch both return their respective roles. Azari Akbar plays Monica Rambeau, Ben Mendelsohn plays Talos, and S.H.I.E.L.D. director R. Keller. Kate Braithwaite plays Soren, Auden L. Ofos plays Gaia, Matthew Maher plays Norex, Goose also appears, Colin Ford plays Carol's mother Steve, Annette Bening plays Dr. Wendy Lawson, aka Marvel. There are also Skrull spies in this film as well. Victoria Baldassare plays Raven, and also Anson Mount, Rebecca Ferguson, Catherine McNamara, Joe Manganiello, Mike Moe, Louis Tan, and Benjamin Walker all return as the Inhuman team. Jude Law plays Yon-Rogg, Gemma Khan plays Dr. Minerva, Djimon Hounsou returns as Court the Pursuer, Rune Temte plays Bronchar, Algines Perez Soto plays Atlas, Chuki Modo plays Solar, and Gary Oldman plays the Supreme Intelligence, while many actors play the Accusers, and Kenneth Mitchell plays Joseph Danvers, who is Carol's father, and I accidentally forgot to mention, but Steve Danvers is actually Carol's brother. My bad. Now, in the mid-credits scene, Monica Rambeau tries to help Nick Fury Jr. get back to Earth after he was quote-unquote stuck in space. Now, in the post-credits scene, Tony Stark visits Black Bolt, who is confused about Tony knowing about the Inhumans, although Tony's been studying them before asking Black Bolt to help him for an unknown reason. So Dr. Wendy Lawson, Norex, some of the Skrull spies, Yon-Rogg, Dr. Minerva, Solar, the Accusers, Raven, and Carol's mother, who does not appear in this movie, all die in this film. Now, the sixth film is titled Fantastic Four: A New War. Now, in this film, the Fantastic Four are living peacefully, and there hasn't been any crime in Manhattan for months, but when the Psycho Man from the planet Tron comes to Earth to conquer, the Fantastic Four must get back in action with help from the Inhumans, Ant-Man, the Wasp, and Janet Van Dyne. Now, after a battle in Manhattan, the Fantastic Four end up in the Quantum Realm, after searching for the Psycho Man following his escape, only to find Ant-Man, Wasp, and Janet. While on Earth, the Inhumans are researching on science stuff such as mutants and ants before ending up in the Quantum Realm, where they encounter the Fantastic Four, while Ant-Man, Wasp, and Janet are attacked by the Micronauts before escaping and explaining to the Fantastic Four and Inhumans that while in the Quantum Realm, Scott spent 5 years there and it was ruled by Baron Karza, whoever that is, until he was overthrown by Psycho Man, who created an army of Micronauts to conquer the Quantum Realm, although Scott exiled him back to his home planet, which is Tron, of course, and left the Micronauts there. We then cut to the protagonists as they launch an attack on the Micronauts before Psycho Man, the new ruler of the Quantum Realm, arrives and captures Sue Storm in order to turn her into Malice, a mythical entity who wants to kill all of Psycho Man's enemies. As the group try to rescue her, although Sue has been possessed by the spirit of Malice, as we see everyone fight the Micronauts, while the Inhumans and the Thing fight Psycho Man. Reed and Johnny try to destroy Malice in order to save Sue, and although the Micronauts and Psycho Man are defeated, the group are safe as they get out of the Quantum Realm, while but unbeknownst to them, Sue is still there and struggling to find a way back home after successfully defeating Malice. Now, John Krasinski plays Reed Richards, Emily Blunt plays Sue Storm, while Zac Efron, Alan Ritchson, Liev Schreiber, and Gina Rodriguez all return their respective roles. Ian Armitage and Mia Tallarico all play Reed and Sue's children, Franklin and Valerie Richards, while Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michelle Pfeiffer, and all the Inhuman actors all return their respective roles. Dean Norris from Breaking Bad plays Tony Grams, aka Psycho Man, that's his real name obviously. Andy McQueen plays Baron Karza, and also we got the Micronauts, who are played by unknown actors, since they're just robotic creatures. Now Malice and Squirrel Sue Storm are both played by Emily Blunt. Now in the mid-credit scene, it is in the distant past that a silver man on a hoverboard, known as the Silver Surfer, tells his unknown master that he has found a new planet, which is Tron, for him to devour. This confirms that Silver Surfer was responsible for what happened to Psycho Man on his home, with his home planet being destroyed and all. Now in the post-credit scene, the Fantastic Four fight in thugs in New York City, but Sue Storm gets shot by one of them, but it turns out it's not the real Storm, it is a Skrull, which convinces Reed, Johnny, and Ben to find the real Sue. Now Baron Karza, Psycho Man, the Micronauts, Malice, and Skrull Sue Storm all die in this film. Now the 7th project is titled The Spectacular Spider-Man City of Danger, and yeah. So in this film, Peter Parker's life is ruined after Norman Osborn has betrayed him and revealed his identity to the world, although things get worse as Peter learns that all of his friends and family are in danger because Norman has transformed himself into the Green Goblin. However, they are a split personality, as Norman can control the Green Goblin, knows what he is doing completely, which makes him pure evil. He also wants to kill Spider-Man once and for all. Now Peter's attacked by the Scorpion, who is hired by Oscorp to kidnap Peter. However, a street hero and lawyer named Daredevil shows up and saves Peter before he becomes his lawyer. Spider-Man and Daredevil team up and confront Norman's employee, Tombstone, before he's arrested by Jefferson Davis, as the Punisher arrives and fights Daredevil, while Peter learns from Tony and Strange that Gwen is being held captive by Harry Osborn, who's teamed up with Ned Leeds to kill Norman and take over Oscorp. Peter's kicked out of the Daily Bugle, who support Norman due to his identity being revealed before attacking Norman with support from Tony, Strange, Daredevil, Talos, and Soren until the two goblins arrive and capture Gwen. While Talos and Soren can contact President Thaddeus Ross and Vice President Richardson of the situation, Aunt May tries to call Tony for help, although he doesn't pick up, as Peter then teams up with Daredevil against the three goblins, Scorpion, and the Punisher. Peter tries to convince Harry and Ned to stop, but they refuse, and Norman kills Gwen, leaving Peter devastated as the fighting ends. As a result of this, the Punisher redeems himself while Scorpion and Hobgoblin are arrested. Norman gives up Oscorp, now the most powerful and influential company in the world, to Harry to become a politician, and Daredevil congratulates Peter for his bravery before the latter returns to his apartment with Aunt May, and before being approached by Wong and the Abomination, who warn Peter that Norman has planned something very bad, and in order to stop him he can't trust anyone. Now in this film, Tom Holland, Dove Cameron, Marissa Tomei, Natalia Dyer, Dacre Montgomery, Vondi Curtis Hall, J.K. Simmons, and Keith David all return their respective roles while we're introduced to Diggy Simmons, Charlie Cox, Dermot Mulroney, and yeah. Now also Samuel L. Jackson, Kobe Smulders, Robert Downey Jr., William Hurt, Benedict Cumberbatch, Benedict Wong, and Tim Roth all return their respective roles. Now for the villain section, Bob Odenkirk, Asa Butterfield all return as Norman and Harry Osborn, while we are also introduced to Jacob Batalon, who plays Ned Leeds, also known as the Hobgoblin. Michael Mando plays Matt Gargan, aka the Scorpion. Marvin Crondon Jones III plays Lonnie Lincoln, also known as Tombstone. And John Bernthal returns as former Punisher member Frank Castle, aka the former Thunderbolts member, Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. Now at the White House, Shang-Chi is meeting with Skrull Rhodey to discuss what to do with the Skrulls, and as Rhodey leaves, Shang-Chi gets suspicious as Rhodey calls his friend named Gravik and requests an assassination attempt on Shang-Chi. Now in the post-credit scene, Norman Osborn breaks Kraven the Hunter out of prison and assigns him to go to Wakanda and steal vibranium, and if succeeded, he'll receive a quote-unquote special reward. Now, very sad news, guys. Gwen Stacy is the only character that dies in this film, although this is very important for Spider-Man's future in TMCU. Now the 8th project is titled Fury Returning to Earth. Now this is the first special presentation in TMCU as Tails and Storm await as they watch Nick Fury Jr., Maria Hill, Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, and her pet Goose return to Earth as they talk about the situation with the Skrulls now invading Earth as they had returned to Earth after failing to find a new home planet, which is why Fury and Hill went to space with Carol and Monica. However, not all the Skrulls are evil, although all the 5 million Skrulls now on Earth want to bring the remaining 30 million to Earth from the Skull Colony, mainly also known as the planet Tarnax, led by General Drogue. Their major plan is to infiltrate Earth and manipulate humanity into World War III in order for its extermination, and for the Skrulls led by Emperor Gravik, aka the Super Skrull, and Empress Varanke to take over Earth due to the Skrulls being immune to radiation, while also wanting to create a Skrull military army by acquiring DNA from the Battle of Earth in Avengers Endgame. And lastly, they want to kill Nick Fury and all of his allies as they resent for not finding them a new home world, as we also learn that Gravik and the Skrulls began their grand plan in November 2023 by kicking Tails out of the Skrull Council, with Gravik replacing him as its leader while orchestrating terrorist attacks worldwide. Now Fury and Tails learn that the Skrulls are also kidnapping and replacing military officials and world leaders. The group gets assistance from Marie Rambeau, CIA agent Prescott, Sonya Falsworth, Skrull Tony, Skrull Ever Ross, and Skrull Black Bolt as they go to Kazakhstan to stop the Skrull resistance, a group of rebel Skrulls led by Gaia, Tails' daughter, from stealing nuclear weapons, as Skrull Tony calls Skrull Rhodey, which leaves Tails suspicious as he attacks Skrull Tony, although it's a trap set by Gaia and Skrull Ever Ross in order to use the weapons to bomb Moscow, which would start World War III. Fury, Tails, and allies fight the Skrulls, Tony, Ever Ross, Rhodey, and Gaia, although Skrull Black Bolt reveals his true form after Skrull Tony is killed by Talos before he is killed by Fury and Talos. In the end, Gaia redeems herself after witnessing her mother Soren get killed by Skrull Rhodey and the other Skrulls as they all escape until the weapons, and lastly Gaia joins Fury and his crew as they search for President Ross at the White House to warn him about the Skrulls, although they run into Ritson, who reveals that Ross is in danger, which leaves Fury concerned as he says that we need new heroes. Now for the main cast, we got Samuel L. Jackson, Kobe Smulders, Ben Mendelsohn, Kate Braithwaite, Teyana Paris, LaShawna Lynch, and Brie Larson all return their respective roles, while Goose also returns as well. Martin Freeman plays Skrull Everett Ross, Olivia Colman plays British MI6 agent Sonya Falsworth, Richard Dormer plays CIA agent Prescott, William Hurt and Dermot Mulroney both return in their respective roles as Thaddeus Ross and Ritson. Amelia Clark plays Gaia, Don Cheadle plays Skrull Rhodey, Robert Downey Jr. plays Skrull Tony, Anson Mount plays Skrull Black Bolt, while Bob Odenkirk returns in a minor role as Norman Osborn, now known as the Green Goblin. Now in France, in the mid-credits scene, the Wakandan group known as the Midnight Angels are attacked by a group of hunted mercenaries until Shuri arrives and kills the mercenaries before telling them that Wakanda is in severe danger. Skrull Tony, Skrull Black Bolt, CIA agent Prescott, and Storm are the only characters who die in this film. Now the final project, and I think the best one, is Chapter 9, Avengers Secret Invasion. Now, in the movie, Nick Fury Jr. is searching for his wife Vara until he is attacked by Skrull Everett Ross, who is killed by Talos and Gaia, who reveal that Gravik plans on bombing Moscow as the three investigate while assigning Maria Hill and Sonya Falsworth to assemble the new Avengers team. This new Avengers team consists of Monica Rambeau, Carol Danvers, Sam Wilson, Spiderman, the Wasp, Ant-Man, Bruce, Shuri, Shang-Chi, and Falcon. Fury and Hill are now fugitives, and Tony, the real Tony, is released from captivity by Pepper Potts and takes over S.H.I.E.L.D. while ordering the Skrulls to make peace talks at the United Nations, but they refuse. The Avengers go to Moscow to stop Gravik, although they fail, and the latter escapes while Nick Fury and his crew are concerned that they can't trust each other and argue until the Fantastic Four arrive and are looking for Sue. Now, meanwhile, in Moscow, Wong and Abomination arrive at the CIA to investigate the bombing and suspect that Fury was the mastermind behind it, until they get a call from Ritson who tells them that Thaddeus Ross has been assassinated, which leaves them shocked. Black Bolt meets with Tony to form the Illuminati, a superhero team and successor to the Avengers, and there are no Inhumans because they're solving an unknown mystery right now, and they order Ritson to expose the Skrulls' existence to the world and Ross's death, which causes mass panic worldwide. Fury, the Avengers, and their allies try to stop Gravik from achieving his goals while also trying to find the Skrulls a new home and release all the hostages. Now, by the end of the film, as we start to get closer, Ritson blames Russia for Ross's death after Gravik had killed the Russian vice president, although he's forced to work with Russian President Vladimir to liberate Russia from Skrull control, while Gravik sends all the Skrulls from Tarnax to Earth, including Empress Veranke and General Drogue. In the end, Gravik and his allies, along with his wife Empress Veranke, have acquired the DNA as they fight Fury and his crew, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the Illuminati, although Tails and Janet sadly die. Norman Osborn abolishes S.H.I.E.L.D. and manipulates the public after killing the Skrulls and most of the Skrulls and becomes the president. Now it turns out he was the one who assassinated Thaddeus Ross, and lastly the Avengers remain as a team, and also most of the Skrulls are killed as the remaining 2 million find a new home on Tarnax and create an army of Super Skrulls, while the hostages are released, and also Fury reunites with his wife as the two go named Vara as the two go into hiding in space from Norman Osborn, along with Maria Hill, Gaia, and Abigail Brand. Now here's an overlook at the main cast. I know it might be blurry, but it's okay. Now for the Avengers, we got Anthony Mackie, Danny Ramirez, Brie Larson, Teyana Paris, Tom Holland, Simu Liu, Mark Ruffalo, Latia Wright, Evangeline Lilly, and Paul Rudd all return their respective roles. Now for the Thunderbolts team, we got all the characters: Sebastian Stan, Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Scott Adkins, Tim Roth, Ryan Russell, Liv Tyler, Anthony Starr, and Daniel Brawl all return their respective roles as Bucky, Yelena, Alexei, Taskmaster, Abomination, U.S. Agent, Red Shield, Sentry, and Zemo. Now why is he in the Thunderbolts exactly? Well, that's a secret. Now for the Fantastic Four team, we got Emily Blunt, Zac Efron, Alan Ritchson, Liev Schreiber, Gina Rodriguez, Ian Armitage, and Mia Talerigo all return their respective roles. Now the Illuminati consists of not the conspiracy theory Illuminati, but the MCU Illuminati team consists of Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. We got Wong Namor, Professor X played by Ewan McGregor, Black Bolt, and Reed Richards all on this team. Now also for Nick Fury's crew, we got Samuel L. Jackson, Kobe Smulders, Michelle Pfeiffer, Ben Mendelsohn. I forgot to put Amelia Clark there, but she plays Gaia. Lashanya Lynch, all return their respective roles, while Goose is played by an unknown actor, or Cat, whatever. Carrot Delavigny plays Abigail Brand. Sorry for the noise earlier, but whatever. Randall Park plays FBI agent Jimmy Woo. There are many actors who play multiple different S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Charlene Woodard plays Vara, who poses as Priscilla Fury as a fake name for Nick Fury's wife, and Olivia Colman returns as British MI6 agent Sonia Falsworth. Now for the supporting characters, we got Dermot Mulroney returns as Ritson, Yul Brynner plays Russian President Vladimir, Don Cheadle plays James Rhodes, Martin Freeman plays CIA agent Everett Ross, Gwyneth Paltrow plays Pepper Potts, Evan Peters plays Pietro Maximoff, Awkwafina plays best friend Katie, and Charlie Cox plays lawyer Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. Now for the villains, we got the Skrulls. Kingsley Ben-Adir plays Emperor Gravik, and while his wife Empress Veranke is played by Janelle Monáe. Gary Lewis plays General Drogue. Don Cheadle returns as Rava. Gillian Scott plays Pagan. Samuel Adewunmi plays Beto, or Beto, whatever. Martin Freeman returns as Skrull Everett Ross. Madeline McGraw plays Anel. Ermina Chikakova plays Kriega. Samuel Whitwer plays Commander Goroth. And Norman Osborn, who is not a Skrull in this film, obviously, returns and is played by Bob Odenkirk once again. Now, in the mid-credits scene, Norman Osborn celebrates his victory, as it turns out he's been using the Skrull situation all along to gain power as he goes into his office and watches the construction of his new supersuit, which is the Iron Patriot. Now, in the post-credits scene, the Punisher has retired as obvious, and Daredevil approaches him at a beach in Los Angeles and tells him that there's a lot of crime happening in New York City right now, although the Punisher hesitates to believe him. Now for the deaths list, we got Gravik, Veranke, Pagan, Beto, Talos, Janet Van Dyne, Skrull Rhodey, and Skrull Everett Ross, while Red Hulk and the Vice President of Russia do die in this film, although they are not seen. Now, anyway guys, that is it for Phase 4 of TMCU, and I'm very sorry about the blurriness, but you guys can check out my Google Classroom if you want for more info on TMCU. But anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, don't worry guys, there will be a Phase 5, which comes out on May 4th of 2024 on a Saturday. So anyway guys, peace out, and I won't waste your time anymore.